There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we're live with your SmackDown recap. The Go Home Show right before Elimination Chamber tomorrow. Sorry for the late start. I was actually on the internet trying to find thumbnail for next week because WWE likes to not announce matches for next week, which they did announce a match, but I don't see it online. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I mean, a lot of stuff I said, like last week on Scoops about Rhea, on other people's shows, them dropping the titles, said all that shit way earlier. Rhea's a cash cow. WWE's in desperation mode. I said it on the prediction show. I picked Alexa on the prediction show, but I said I would probably be changing. I definitely will 100% be changing my pick. Now that they dropped the titles, which I fully expected them to. I like that the irresistible forces have their new theme now. Nia and Lash. Congrats to Lash for winning her first main roster title. I think this is Nia's third tag championship. I think she had maybe one or two with Shayna Baszler or something like that. But welcome to the EVP show, the SmackDown recap. The night before the Chamber. I wish I could say it was a great show. It started off that way. A lot of I don't know. I just felt like it was all over the place, and then obviously them getting the guy from the popcorn stand to come down there. But it was reported by several news sources out there that they were going to be pivoting due to the Bronson Reed injury. So I do fully expect to see the Masked Man, which is going to turn out to be Seth tomorrow at the Chamber. Logan's going to get screwed. Obviously, I guess they put behind the Bad Bunny Logan stuff, or maybe the Masked Man is Bad Bunny. I don't know. But I just know a lot of plans have changed. It makes sense for Rhea to take on Jay. No, nobody else really makes any sense. Nobody wants to see Tiffany. They kind of tease Tiffany and Chelsea tonight. They could do Ia and Julia. So if they don't do it there, obviously, then they can do it illegally. But it was an okay show. I'm not gonna say it was great. I think their booking is still all over the place. It still feels like they're in scramble mode. I think the most exciting thing going on right now is, what's in the box. So, what's in the crate? We'll find out tomorrow on that. But before we get started, this will be the last time that I will be promoting this, obviously, because this raffle for the Classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt will end tomorrow. Tomorrow's Elimination Chamber Day, so it will end tomorrow. And the winner will be drawn on selected on March the 1st on After Slam Podcast. So, I'm going to play the video, take my banner down, play the video, and then I will explain it a little bit more in detail. Put the picture and the QR code up. You guys have, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, about 8 to 10 hours, I guess, to still get in the raffle. I'm assuming, because like I said, it ends right before Elimination Chamber. So, but here's the video from After Slam Podcast on how to get in the raffle for the Classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
All right, so it's a $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter? Pretty easy. You scan the QR code right here in the bottom, and obviously I'll put the blow up one up there as well. A little bigger one, but you scan that QR code. The only catch is you must subscribe to After the Slam podcast, Talk It Up Wrestling podcast, and the EVP show. All three of the YouTube channels. You send $15 via PayPal, which is once you hit that QR code, it will connect you to After Slam's PayPal. You send $15 for one raffle entry. Each $15 equals one entry. More entries equals better chances to win. The raffle actually ends today, or it's almost midnight here on the East Coast, but it ends today, February 28th, Elimination Chamber Day, and the winner will be drawn March the 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern on After the Slam podcast. So you guys have still got a few hours if you want to get entered into there. Just make sure you subscribe to the After the Slam podcast, Talking About Wrestling podcast, and also the EVP show. And scan that QR code, send that $15, and you can get in the raffle, right? You never know. A last minute entry may be the winner. So, yeah. Shout out to After Slam for doing that. Put my banner back up there. So, we are live for the SmackDown recap show on my YouTube channel, my X, and also Miami the Crates X. Make sure you guys tomorrow tune in. It's going to be on Twitch. The link I don't have the link memorized, but it is on Miami's page. There will be a Elimination Chamber watch party on Twitch tomorrow. Make sure you guys tuned in for that. And then obviously when the Elimination Chamber goes off, I'll be going live at 11 p.m. Eastern to go over to be doing the Elimination Chamber recap. So I'll be breaking it all down for you guys tomorrow. The show started off, obviously, before the show even hit the air. Obviously, social media was buzzing. Apparently, Jey Uso was taken out by somebody. Obviously, it was close to that crate. So, yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, WWE's all over the place with the storylines. I mean, they're teasing a Sammy Hill turn. It possibly could be Sammy, but I don't think it's happening right now. I think it's something that's going to be slow burn if they do it. Well, I don't think it's if they do it, it's when they do it, because he's like off his rocker, doing shit. He's apologizing, but then He's throwing shit everywhere. He did it with Cody first, and then Jacob tonight. So obviously, I feel like it's Randy Orton. I feel like they have the Aleister Black playing the old Karrion Kross and Scarlett role, trying to get in people's heads. Obviously, Randy told Aleister tonight he would see him after the Chamber. Hopefully, that's not at WrestleMania. I still do feel like we're headed for at least a triple threat, because Jacob got screwed again tonight, with Jay being eliminated from the Chamber, or not eliminated, but not being able to compete in the Chamber. We had another Chamber qualifier tonight, and obviously Jacob Fatu did not qualify. He lost. He got pinned by Logan Paul, thanks to Drew McIntyre. So Jacob Fatu will not be in the Chamber tomorrow. So that's what I'm saying. It kind of sets up perfectly for a triple threat or a fatal four-way. I've seen Cody, Randy, Jacob, Sammy, Aleister. I've seen all kinds of shit out there. It's not going to be more. It's not going to be more than 4 people. But one of these days, you guys are going to start listening to what I say on Scoops and stop spending the money on all these Patreon channels and all that. It's either Cody. I think they've kind of. I definitely think they've gotten away from the singles match just because of all the crying on the internet, from the fans, all the Cody haters out there. So like, yeah, it's definitely a triple threat. If not a triple threat, then it'll be a fatal four-way. I mean, truthfully, even though I do support Cody, like, I don't really want to see that match one-on-one again. And then they've been teasing like Randy and Cody a lot. Like Randy starting to talk, say something to Cody, and then somebody else's music always hits. So I think the turn's coming tomorrow from Randy. Maybe Cody wins the Chamber, Randy RKO's him afterwards, and then Nick Aldis is sick of Drew's shit. So maybe we'll get all 4 of them in there. I don't think it's going to be a Drew versus Jacob. I don't think I would be willing to bet that's not happening on one-on-one. So I know a lot of people are clamoring for that online. It's not going to happen. Cody's going to be inserted in that main event somehow. I just don't know if it's going to be just Cody and Drew, or if it's going to be Cody, Drew, Jacob, or Cody, Drew, Jacob, and Randy. I don't see any more than 4. So I don't care what Slice or fucking anybody else puts out there. It's not going to be more than 4. And like I said, I don't know, 5, 6 days ago, I said Rhea and Neo were losing the tag titles. So I know a lot of people are now posting it on their timeline, but I said it on Scoop, like, it makes the most sense, like, for them to lose the titles tonight, because what were they going to do when Charlotte lost? Like, she was the obvious choice at one time to face Jade, and it looks like they got away from that because of ticket sales, I guess. I don't know what the reason is behind that, but they still have Charlotte and Alexa involved with Julia and Kiana James, so could be some sort of crazy ass tag team match since Nia and Lash have won the titles now. I haven't seen the Bellas, but they did say on their podcast they're rested, so I would expect to see them back maybe on the Raw after Chamber or something. But they'll definitely be on the road to WrestleMania. They're definitely going to be a part of WrestleMania. And I feel like they'll be a part of that, some sort of big tag team match as well. But let's get to SmackDown. Obviously, like I said before, the show went on the air. Jey Uso was attacked. They didn't reveal the attacker. I mean, I've seen people saying Jacob. I don't really think it's Jacob. I've seen people saying Cody. That's a possibility. It's time to turn Cody heel. It's been time, past time, but I just don't know if it was Cody. I'm leaning more toward Randy. I think, he's the one that's going to ultimately snap. I mean, you heard him tell Aleister he's hearing the voices and shit again. So, I mean, it could have been Sammy too that took Jay out, but I don't think they're going to reveal that right now. It's going to be a really slow burn with the Sammy shit. So even if it was Sammy, it's you're not going to find out about it tomorrow. Sammy's not going to be in that fucking title match. I think they're going to hold that shit off until like a face has that title. Probably Cody, Sammy Cody match or something. But like I said, they're probably doing some sort of thing where they're doing the finish the story shit with Sammy, where he's gonna be down in the dumps and trying to find a way to win that first championship, a world heavyweight championship. I mean, hell, they may wait all the way up until next year. I don't know, but like I said before, SmackDown went live tonight. Jey Uso was taken out, so he would not be competing in the Elimination Chamber. So now I have to find a whole new poster for all the matches, because obviously Jey is in the poster, but I wasn't picking Jey anyway, so it really doesn't matter if it's Jey up there or Logan Paul. I wasn't gonna pick Jey anyway, so I guess not that important if I find a new poster. But tonight was live from the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. They're on their way to Chicago for the Elimination Chamber. It's a go-home show, and you're going to see the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Rhea, who held the title for 55 days. The Eradicator Rhea Ripley and the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky, defend their titles tonight against the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Plus, the feud continues. The Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy, will face MFT, one half of WWE Tag Team Champion Solo Sikoa in a singles match. They're still running with that, so yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm getting to. We're also going to see the Ruler over Femi, which WWE still has no fucking clue what they're doing when it comes to booking Oba. Another squash match. He's facing The Miz, the Juggernaut Jordan Grace versus Candice LeRae. And then there's going to be a WWE United States Open Challenge match. Carmella Hayes ends up being Matt Cardona. Cody Rhodes, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, World Tag Team Champion. Well, Jey Uso was advertised. LA Knight and Randy Orton will have an in-ring segment. So the show opens up with the commentary welcome us as we see Jey Uso being put into an ambulance while many people are yelling. You can see Jacob Fatu out there. You can see Jacob Fatu out there close to the ambulance, and he's actually getting into. It looked like he's getting in the ambulance with Jey. So Jimmy then says he will find out who did it. So also Jimmy, I didn't see Jimmy, but I'm guessing he was back there with Jey. I didn't personally see him, but what it says. So Cody Rhodes was also back there, and then he asked Nick Aldis what the hell was going on, and then Trick Williams appears, kind of mockery a little bit, not really, but sort of. He shows up and he says, "That's better him than me." He then says 1 down and 4 to go. Javon then asks Trick if he is the one who put him in the ambulance. Trick then tells Javon to let the adults talk. So then the show opens up with Drew McIntyre, and he is coming through the crowd. He's been coming through the crowd a lot lately. He says he did not. He says he didn't have anything to do with Jey, but it was funny. He then says he tells the truth all the time, but he is guilty until proven innocent. Drew then says he has to buy a suite every week because he is an outlaw in his own company. He then says he just wants to shed the competition in the Elimination Chamber. He then says, is that too much? He then says he can do what he wants when he wants, so he does. Nick Aldis comes out he's pissed off. Like I said, he's furious with all the stuff that Drew's been doing, getting himself involved in all these matches. So Nick comes out. He tells Drew not to get involved. He tells Drew to come to his office because there are 20 guys in the back who want to rip him apart, and he is ready to tell them to go ahead and do it. Drew then says there are 6 men challenging him for the title, and then out comes the American Nightmare. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. The wrong button. Out comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out. He tells Drew, let's fight right now. Cody's very angry, visibly angry. Drew then asks the crowd if they want them to fight. Drew then starts to escape through the crowd, like always. Drew then says no, because how would that benefit him? Drew then says he isn't a troublemaker and he will not break the rules, and he is going to leave like Nick Aldis asked him to, which he obviously did. Cody then says Drew has spent his title reign running like a little bitch. Drew then stops walking. So Cody Rhodes called Drew a bitch. Cody then says no rematch. He then says after tomorrow, and then before he can get tomorrow completely out of his mouth, we hear the Viper Randy Orton music. He comes out and says what happened to Jay sucks, and he feels bad for him. Randy then says his only concern is winning the Elimination Chamber and becoming the 15-time champion. And as I just said previously before I started the breakdown of the show, Randy can never seem to get out what he wants to say to Cody. He starts to tell him, and then somebody's music interrupts. Randy tells Cody as far as they go, and then boom, Trick Williams' music hits. Fans go crazy. Trick's super over right now. Loving that. Loving what they're doing with Trick. Hopefully, Triple H does right by Trick. Because, Triple H is known to look what he's doing with Oba. Trick interrupts and he comes out. He says he hates to do this, but you got to understand that he is the hottest thing in the business. He then says that is why Bruno Mars shouted him out. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. He then says as for tonight, he is looking in the ring and sees them. He then says since they're in Louisville, he says something about Kentucky Fried Chicken. He can add something to the menu. He then says he can add some flavor to the menu. And he starts referring to his shoes, obviously. And then we get the young OG, Deron Evans, interrupts, and he walks right past Trick into the ring. Evans then said, let's talk crazy. He says they have history, but he is going to win at Elimination Chamber and beat Randy's record for the youngest and becoming the youngest World Heavyweight Champion. He then says we need the final healthy member in the match. And we get the megastar himself, L.A. Knight. Interrupts and he makes his way down to the ring. L.A. Knight says he wants to talk about it. And he hears a lot of empty promises. Says he hears something about a nightmare, Viper. Says shit talking with Trick, which I don't know. For a while there, it seemed like we were headed for Trick, LA Knight, Trick Sammy. But after the segment tonight, I'd kind of like to see Trick versus LA Knight. I think that'd be a great match for WrestleMania. Not fucking Brock LA Knight. Let's not do that at all. He then says they have 24 hours to Elimination Chamber, and then they all belong to him. He then says, Drew, when it comes to you and me at WrestleMania, the title belongs to him. We then get a catchphrase all between Trick and LA Knight. When Trick jumps in, Knight then punches Trick, and he is pulled to the floor by Trick, and him and Trick begin to battle all the way back to the back. So then that just leaves Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Javon Evans in the ring. And Cody is kind of looking around, being very suspicious of Randy. And out of nowhere, Randy hits Javon Evans with the RKO. Randy then looks at Cody, and Cody's staring Randy down. They have a little eye contact, nothing more. Cody kind of follows him with his eyes as Randy Orton leaves the ring. Can't let your guard down around the Viper. See that tomorrow. Cody's going to get RKO tomorrow. I'm afraid. The turn going to happen. Randy's going to turn on Cody. We then head to the back where Kathy Kelly says Jey Uso spot in the Elimination Chamber is in jeopardy. Kathy then says she is trying to get more information on Jey Uso. And then she is joined by the former WWE Women's Smackdown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton walks up, and Kathy asks if that changes her and the chamber. Tiffany says it sucks what happened to Jey, but she is not going to let anyone take her out of the match to get her title back. Asuka then shows up, and she says Tippy time is over. Asuka then says tomorrow no one will be ready for Asuka. Tippy then asks Asuka if she wants to prove it tonight. Obviously Asuka accepts, but when we get ready for the match, Asuka says, I'm going to rest for the chamber, and it ends up being Kairi Sane. Kairi then asks Tiffany if she is jealous, and Asuka yells for Kairi to come on. So we then see the superstar arrivals of the night while commentary runs down the lineup, including the focus on Owufemi taking on The Miz, which I don't know why that's a big focus. But we get to the first match of the night. It's going to be the MFT, one half of WWE Men's SmackDown Tag Team Champion, which they did mention there was going to be a number. Nick Otto said there's going to be a number one contenders match next week on SmackDown to determine who's going to be facing the MFTs for those SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But so Sikoa makes his way down to the ring, holding on to the Wyatt Six Lantern for the first match of the night. We then get a tease of the Wyatt Six. Back at ringside, we get a look back at last week and the message Uncle Howdy delivered to the MFT ahead of tonight's match. The lights then cut out, and we get Uncle Howdy coming to the ring alone. He enters the ring to get this match underway. The Wyatt Six Uncle Howdy versus the MFT WWE Tag Team Champion one half, Solo Sikoa. So the match starts off with Solo pointing to the lantern, and he has some words for Uncle Howdy. They lock up. Uncle Howdy backs Solo into a corner and gives him a clean break. Solo then pushes Howdy. They then lock up again, and Solo applies a side headlock. Solo then hits a shoulder tackle, but Howdy does not go down. So at some point in the match, or maybe before the match, the thumb that Solo uses for Samoan Spike is damaged. So Solo then hits a punch, and Uncle Howdy fires back. They go back and forth. Solo hits a headbutt. Uncle Howdy then hits a flying back elbow, and he sets up for Sister Abigail. But Solo escapes and goes to the floor. Uncle Howdy then follows, and Solo hits a punch. Solo then goes for the Samoan Spike and misses Uncle Howdy, but not the ring post. So this must be where he hurt his thumb. So then Uncle Howdy then sends the arm into the ring post and into the ringside barrier. Uncle Howdy then clotheslines Solo over the ringside barrier into the timekeeper's area. Howdy then looks at the lantern before getting Solo, and he hits an elbow. Uncle Howdy then slams that injured hand into the announce desk, and then they both return to the ring. Uncle Howdy kicks Solo and sends him into the turnbuckles. Solo hits a forearm, and he sends Uncle Howdy face first into the middle turnbuckle. Uncle Howdy then rolls to the floor. Solo then sends Uncle Howdy into the ringside barrier, and he picks up that lantern. Solo then sends Uncle Howdy back into the ring while he tries to shake off his thumb. I said damage his thumb. Solo then hits a chop to Howdy's head, but he uses the right hand, and it causes more damage to that thumb. So then Solo ends up hitting Uncle Howdy with some headbutts and applies a nerve hold. Uncle Howdy then gets back to his feet, and Solo sends Howdy back to the mat. Solo then returns to that nerve hold again. Uncle Howdy gets back into the match, and he hits a jawbreaker on, but Solo returns back to the nerve hold and also some more headbutts. Uncle Howdy then delivers some punches to Solo, and Solo hits a Samoan drop for a near fall. Solo then returns back to the nerve hold. Uncle Howdy then grabs the hand and starts pulling at the fingers of that hand that's already damaged to Solo Sikoa. So then, Howdy then hits some clotheslines in the corner. Solo then hits a Uranagi, and he goes up top and hits a frog splash, but Uncle Howdy kicks out at 2. So Solo then brings Howdy back up as he looks to beat Uncle Howdy with his finishing move, and also Alexa Bliss's finishing move, Sister Abigail, but Uncle Howdy counters with a mandible claw. It doesn't last long as Solo counters with a somewhat of a Samoan spike. He did not be able to get all of it because of the injury to his dome, forcing Uncle Howdy to the corner for a couple of running hip attacks. On the third attempt, Uncle Howdy jumps up, and he hits the Sister Abigail to take Solo Sikoa down for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner of the singles match tonight is Uncle Howdy via Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3, clean win. After the match, you can see Uncle Howdy leave the ring to retrieve his lantern, but he is blindsided by the MFT, who quickly take it back as they escape through the crowd. So all that work that Uncle Howdy did to win the match to try to get his lantern back, but the MFTs were waiting outside the ring, and they took that lantern back. So I guess this is going to go, they're going to probably do they're going to do a number 1 contender for the tag titles, and it's going to be the fucking Howdies. I mean, it's going to be the White 6. They're obviously going to run this back at WrestleMania or at the SmackDown before WrestleMania. So, this feud's going to be going for at least until WrestleMania. So the MFT still have possession of the lantern. We then head to the back where we see that Drew McIntyre is escorted out to the parking lot as he is told to stay home tomorrow and stay out of trouble. Nick Aldis is got a lot of problems on his hands tonight. Is then confronted by the Vision, Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. That's the only people that's left of the Vision. And Logan Paul is trying to convince Nick Aldis to put him into the Elimination Chamber since Jey Uso is out. Paul then talks about how much he can easily win the match and become the champion. Aldis then eventually relents enough to consider it, citing politics at play as he walks off. He said he's going to make some calls. Heyman then confirms with Logan. He said, "You sure you're going to win the chamber?" Logan then says he knows he can win the chamber, and Logan walks off before Heyman tells Austin Theory to keep his attitude in check. So we'll see. Is Theory actually working with Seth Rollins? It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So we then get a look at the rise of Rio ahead of their women's tag team championship match against the Irresistible Forces tonight. We then see Kathy Kelly, who is absolutely obsessed with Rhea Ripley. They got to be playing out some sort of angle with that because they keep talking about it and putting all kinds of stuff about it on social media. She asked them about the next few days, and Rhea's focus. Rhea says she should be focusing on Elimination Chamber, but she needs to do it one step at a time. She then says they need to defend their title tonight, and she can focus on the Elimination Chamber after. Io Sky says tomorrow Rhea will win, and Rhea will become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And then here comes your current SmackDown Women's Champion with the first huge tease of the night. Jade Cargill stops by, and she tells Rhea that she won't have anyone to help her tomorrow, and she tells her not to get injured. So we then see Nick Aldis on the phone, and the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu shows up. So obviously he didn't go to the hospital. Well, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't look like he went to the hospital with Jay. And it says all fingers are pointing at Drew. Fatu then says if Nick has a Drew problem, he has a problem with Drew. Jacob then says the solution is to put him in the chamber. Fatu then says he should be a part of that. He then says this is a conversation. He says he is going to walk into Elimination Chamber. He is going to win, and he will walk out of WrestleMania and solve that Drew problem. Nick then tells Jacob Fatu that he will take it under advisement and he will make some calls. Just like he told Logan Paul, Paul Heyman, and Austin Theory. So we then get a Damian Priest NXT Origins video package. They started doing this on NXT Tuesday, so I guess they're going to be doing this now. We are then told about Stand and Deliver, which will take place 2 weeks before WrestleMania 42 this year. So Stand and Deliver is actually going to be 2 weeks before WrestleMania instead of the same day of WrestleMania. So looking forward to that. Glad that they're going to actually do that early. So we get ready for the next match of the night. It's a former Women's Smackdown champion, Tiffany Stratton, makes her way down to the ring for the next match. But before her opponent comes down there, we get the entrance of Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, who will be at the commentary desk. So then we get Asuka, accompanied by Kairi Sane. She interrupts. She says she is smart, and she says it many times. She then says she is resting before the chamber match. She then says Tiffany can face Kairi. She says it's not going to be Tiffany time, it's going to be Kairi time. So we're going to get Tiffany Stratton versus the Kabuki Warriors, the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. The match starts off with Kairi hitting the death press, delivers several punches to Tiffany, but Tiffany then goes to the floor to avoid the baseball slide. Tiffany then rolls Kairi back in and hits a hesitation springboard senton for a near fall. Tiffany then floats over. Tiffany then does a cartwheel. Tiffany's showing out tonight. She looks a lot more leaner. Like I said on Scoop Sunday, she is training to get back into bodybuilding. So it makes a lot of sense. But Tiffany looks great in there, moving around. She definitely a lot more toned. She looked a little leaner. She'll probably be a lot muscular here soon too. She's training to get back into bodybuilding. So Kairi Sane then hits a head scissors, but Tiffany lands on her feet again. Tiffany avoids a clothesline. Kairi then begins to show frustration, and Tiffany sends Kairi Sane into the ropes and hits a splash to the back. Kairi Sane then goes to the floor, and Tiffany hits the pescado. Tiffany sends Kairi back into the ring, and Asuka distracts Tiffany to allow Kairi Sane to hit a back fist and sends Tiffany into the ring post. Kairi then sends Tiffany into the turnbuckles and begins to punch her, and then she sends Tiffany to the mat and delivers more punches. Then Kairi gets a near fall on Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany and Kairi then exchange forearms, and Kairi hits a slingshot head scissors takedown for a near fall. So Tiffany's back in control. She hits an Irish whip, but Kairi fires back with a kick. She then goes to the turnbuckles and she applies the head scissors in the ropes. Kairi then chokes Tiffany in the ropes. Asuka then delivers some punches when the referee deals with Kairi Sane. Sane then hits some more punches to Tiffany. Kairi then applies a straightjacket choke. Tiffany then hits a snapmare, and Kairi hits a dropkick, and both women are down. Tiffany then fires away with some forearms and some clotheslines, and then hits a handspring back elbow, and she does a cartwheel into an Alabama slam for a near fall. So Tiffany then hits the Finley slam, but she is caught up in the rope by Kairi Sane on the prettiest moonsault ever set up. Kairi Sane then puts Tiffany in the tree of woe, and delivers some punches and some headbutts. Kyrie then hits a double stomp and gets a near fall. Kyrie then hits a sliding D, and Kyrie goes up top and misses a forearm. Kyrie then hits a sunset flip to counter the Alabama slam, but Tiffany rolls through and drop kicks Kyrie, staying for another near fall. Kyrie then kicks Tiffany from the apron, and she sets up for a fisherman's buster onto the apron, but Tiffany counters with a suplex attempt. Kyrie then hits a DDT on the apron, then goes up top and hits a forearm for a near fall. Sane then goes up top again, but Tiffany pushes Kyrie Sane off the turnbuckles into Alba Fire, and Chelsea Green then wheels herself over to Tiffany Stratton, and she does stand up, which is she did. I seen something on X where she reported that she's way ahead of schedule with her recovery. That's why I said I think they're teasing toward a Tiffany to Chelsea Green match. Chelsea Green and Hops and Kyrie Sane goes for a forearm on Tiffany, but Tiffany moves and Sane ends up hitting Chelsea Green, and she really sold it well. I love Chelsea Green. She's phenomenal. Tiffany then hits a Finley slam and delivers a prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3. And going into tomorrow's women's elimination chamber, your winner is Tiffany Stratton. Going into the match tomorrow with a lot of momentum. Hoping she doesn't win though. After the match, you can see Asuka yelling at Kyrie. So eventually, we're gonna see that split. I think I don't know. Hope it doesn't last as long as Zarya and Saruka, but we definitely know it's coming. So we then see Nick Aldis entering his office, and he sees Austin, Logan, and Paul Heyman in there. Nick says he talked with Adam Pearce from Raw, and Logan will have an opportunity to compete in the Elimination Chamber. But Paul Heyman then says he wants to know what is the catch. Nick then says Logan has to defeat Jacob Fatu to get into the Elimination Chamber. Paul Heyman starts to become ballistic, but Logan stops Heyman and he tells Nick what he has done. He said he sold the most famous Pokemon card. He then says he can beat WWE's most dangerous werewolf. So then we get ready for the next match of the night, which I'm just so over what they're doing with Oba. Let's just get to the Brock Oba stuff. I mean, at this point, I'd rather see Oba and Rusev, like Kit Wilson, now The Miz. Like, come on, man. I mean, it was a little bit comedic, but this is Oba we're talking about. The fans are going crazy for Oba. The Miz makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, followed by the ruler, Oba Femi. So the match starts off with the Miz trying to convince the referee not to start the match, and he goes to the floor. He then tells Oba they don't have to fight. Oba then steps on his hand and takes the mic, and he tells Miz to get his own mic. Miz then says nobody wants this match. Miz then says this is a classic misunderstanding. Miz says as the locker room leader, it is on him. He says he's feeling the John Cena void. Miz then says this is a teaching moment. Miz then says 20 years ago, right down the road, he was in WWE developmental. Miz then says he was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed just like Oba Femi. Miz then says he didn't go after the locker room leaders. Miz then says he wants to be the type of leader to take Oba under his wing. Miz then asks Oba if he can be his Undertaker. Another Undertaker reference. Oba then says there is no striking resemblance, but you do look like a dead man to him. Miz then says they can utilize the Miz method. Miz then tells Oba not to be a flash in the pan, and he can help Oba with all of his connections. Miz then says he can get every crowd to chant Oba's name, and they do it. They chant Oba. Oba then tells Miz he doesn't need Miz to get them to chant his name. Oba then asks Louisville if he should join forces with Miz. I think, what did they call it? The, I don't know. There was a nickname. The Ruler or something. I don't know, Miz was getting pumped up, but yeah. The Awesome Rulers, that's what it was. He then says, should they become the Awesome Rulers? And then Miz starts to get super excited. Oba then tells Miz he is dying tonight, or he is going to get killed tonight. Miz then says they can use this as a teaching moment. Miz then says he will teach the lesson of being the bigger man and walking away. He turns his back. Miz then tries to punch. He turns his back, but then he turns around and tries to punch Oba, and Oba delivers a clothesline. Oba then sends Miz to the apron, and Miz drops Oba on the top rope. So it's the first time I've seen a little bit of offense against Oba on the main roster, but wasn't much. But Oba hits a chop when Miz comes off the turnbuckles. Oba then hits a running uppercut, but he misses the second one. And then the Miz goes for the skull crusher finale. Oba Femi blocks it. Oba tosses Miz across the ring and hits that sit down power bomb for the 1, 2, 3. Quick match. Winner of the match is Oba Femi. Hope we're done with that. So we then see the United States champion Carmelo Hayes walking in the back, and he asks the Mad Dragon, Dragunov, why he isn't in his gear for their match. Dragunov then says he isn't going to fight tonight. It's like they're setting up for like a multi-man match at WrestleMania for Carmelo's U.S. title, maybe a ladder match or something like that. Dragunov says he isn't going to fight. He then says he was not successful last week against Tama Tonga, and he hasn't won much lately. Dragunov says he does not deserve a match now. Dragunov then says he will tell Carmelo when he is ready for a match. He then tells Hayes to go out there and show everyone. Carmelo then says he doesn't need a pep talk from Dragunov. He then says he needs to give himself a pep talk. He then says if you don't take this shot, someone else will. So Carmelo makes his way down to the ring. He is continuing this open challenge, which I love. I love that they got the title on Carmelo Hayes, who's doing big things with this title. And he's waiting for his opponent, and it is none other than Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona is entering the United States Open Challenge tonight. It was a good match, pretty good match too. The match starts off with both the men shake hands. Matt then gets a roll up for a near fall. Carmelo then hits a snap mare, and he gets a near fall. But Matt starts to take control. He applies a side headlock, and Matt hits a shoulder tackle. Matt then blocks a hip toss, but misses a clothesline. Matt then hits a dropkick for a near fall. Matt then applies a side headlock, and he holds on when Carmelo tries to send him off the ropes. Carmelo he hits a dropkick, but then he misses the second one. Matt then hits a neck breaker for another near fall. And then he hits a forearm against the bridge of the nose. Matt Cardona is in control. Matt is then sent to the apron by Carmelo, but Cardona hits a punch and he pulls Carmelo onto the apron. Carmelo then hits a back elbow to send Matt to the floor. Carmelo then comes off the apron and he hits the announce desk. Cardona then hits a side Russian leg sweep into the ringside barrier. So then he gets a return to the ring, and Matt delivers some knees to the midsection and kicks Carmelo. Carmelo fights back by delivering a chop, and then Matt Cardona hits a flapjack for a near fall, and it was really close on that one too. Matt then sends Carmelo into the corner, and he hits a shoulder, and then he also hits a hard Irish whip. Carmelo reverses with an Irish whip of his own, but Matt gets his knees up. Cardona then hits a neck breaker, and he gets a near fall. Matt begins to work on the back, and he follows up with a crossface. Carmelo Hayes then rolls into the corner. Cardona then hits some kicks in the corner, and he starts to choke out Carmelo Hayes. So then Matt Cardona sets up for the woo-woo kick, and he hits it. Matt then catapults Carmelo Hayes into the middle rope, and Matt gets another near fall. This one was about 2 7/8. Matt then drops Carmella on the top rope, and he hits a knee lift to send Hayes to the floor. Matt then hits a drop kick through the ropes, and then he applies some forearms from the apron. Carmella Hayes back in the action, hits a kick and a springboard leg drop. Carmella then gets to his feet and he punches Matt. Carmella then hits some more chops and a springboard clothesline, and then Carmella then has a super kick block, and Cardona hits a kick of his own. So then Carmella Hayes hits a La Mystica and gets a near fall. Matt then hits a kick and sets up for a Tiger Driver, but Carmella escapes. Matt then does hit the Tiger Driver for a near fall. So then Matt goes for the second time for the woo-woo boot, and Carmella Hayes, he misses. Carmella Hayes hits a back body drop. Carmella Hayes then sets up for the first 48, but Matt hits a forearm and some chops. Matt then goes for the Frankensteiner and hits it, but Matt then he misses the Rough Rider, and Carmella gets a roll up for a near fall. Carmella then hits a thrust kick for another near fall. So Carmella then goes up top for nothing but net, but Matt moves out of the way. Matt then hits a rolling elbow, followed by a Rough Rider for another near fall. This was a great match. Matt then sets up for an unprettier, but Carmella Hayes gets a roll up. And then Carmella goes up top, and he hits the first 48 for the 1, 2, 3. And still your men's United States champion, Carmella Hayes. Great match, though. Glad to see Cardona finally get a title shot. It was a really good match. After the match, Carmella Hayes offers a hand, and Matt Cardona shakes it. So we then see that the crate is back in the back, and the tag teams wonder what is in there. R-Truth then shows up, and he says, "You need to watch tomorrow to see what's in the box." And he starts to explain to them how to watch it on the ESPN app. I don't know what WWE is doing. Truth then says he has a surprise, and he tells them how to get into the ESPN to watch the PLE. So then Candice LeRae then shows up, and she pushes Johnny Gargano for her match. Kit Wilson then says Johnny is trying because all of you are toxic. Everybody's taking a look at that crate. All those tag teams back there. So we're getting set for the next match of the night. Candice LeRae makes her way down to the ring with Johnny Gargano, as she will be going up one-on-one against the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. This match was not great. The match starts off with Jordan Grace hitting a spine buster on Candice LeRae. She then hits a series of clotheslines. Candice LeRae is looking to fight back. She hits a dropkick followed by a senton for a near fall. Candice then applies a sleeper hold. Both women then go back and forth with pinning combinations. Candice then hits a jawbreaker. Both women are battling it out on the top rope. Jordan Grace then powers Candice LeRae up and hits her with a delayed vertical suplex for a near fall. Candice tries to fight back, but then Jordan ends up running into a big boot. She hits a German suplex, and you can finally see Johnny Gargano is finally standing up. Johnny Gargano walks out on Candice LeRae. He starts walking around the side of the ring to the back. The distraction then allows Jordan Grace to hit Candice LeRae with the pump handle German suplex for the 1, 2, 3. So a super quick match. Jordan Grace made short work of Candice LeRae. The winner of the match is the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. So we go to another backstage segment where we see Kathy Kelly again, and she is with member of the Judgment Day, Big Mommy Cool, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel says she and Liv being champions means that Judgment Day is going to run WWE. Says she's going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Liv is going to be the Raw Women's Champion. She then says she is going to focus on what it takes to win. And then we get another interruption from the SmackDown Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. She tells Raquel she needs to focus on herself. She then says Liv isn't worried about you. She then says, Liv set you up because if you win tomorrow, she will embarrass Raquel at WrestleMania. Raquel says something in Spanish and tells Jade she will see her on down the road. So then Michin and B-Fab come up behind Jade, and Michin says she is coming for Jade. Jade then tells Michin if she's going to do something, to do it. B-Fab then tells Michin she will get her chance. Could B-Fab be joining up with Jade? I don't know. We'll then take a look at the AJ Styles tribute ceremony from Raw this past Monday night, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame and announces that did his celebration for his retirement. And the AJ Styles is joining the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026. So we go to the back, and you can see Jacob Fatu doing some exercises and working out. And Cody Rhodes stops by to talk to Jacob Fatu. Cody says as much as this is going to sound crazy, he hopes it is Jacob Fatu that is in the Elimination Chamber. Cody then turns around and sees Sammy standing there. Sammy then offers his hand, and Cody shakes it and walks away. Sammy's acting really strange at this point. Sammy then tells Jacob he knows he has the match, and he asks about Jay. Fatu says it isn't looking good for Jay. Sammy then says he didn't do it, which Jacob didn't ask him. He just said, I don't know what they're doing with that. But he isn't 100% sure about Jacob Fatu. So Sammy started pointing the finger at Jacob. Maybe Jacob's the attacker. Fatu then says he wants to know what Sammy means. Sammy then says, you were there when Jay goes down. He is in an ambulance. Sammy then says he is out of the match, and the first thing you do is take his spot. Sammy then says you have been focused on Drew. You have caused chaos everywhere. So Jacob Fatu then tells Sammy to be very careful with what you say next. Sammy then asks if he will be next to. Sammy then asks, what? Am I going to be next to Jay in the hospital? He then says Jacob Fatu isn't the only one who wants Drew. Jacob then says if anyone got screwed, it was him. He then says he got Claymore, Cody got Claymore. He then says that you are the only one who did not get Claymore, which is true. He then says it looked like Drew was trying to help you win the match. Fatu then says maybe he should be watching Sami Zayn. Sami then apologizes like he did to Cody last week, and he says his head just hasn't been screwed on right. He then tells Jacob maybe he deserves a second chance and tells him to win it for Jay. And then once Jacob walks off, Sami did what he did with Cody last week and starts slinging stuff all off of the tables and crates in the back. So then we're set for our next match of the night, and it's for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championship. And we get new theme music and for Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the Irresistible Forces. I loved it for them. Make their way down to the ring with their new entrance music and their theme for Irresistible Force. I don't remember that. Alright, they're going to be taking on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Rhea Ripley, obviously, Io got a big standing ovation as always. This was probably, I don't know, the last match was great too, but this was definitely one of the matches of the night. Match starts off with Io going for a sunset flip, but Lash blocks it. Io then does some cartwheels and hits a drop kick, gets a tag into Rhea. Rhea sends Lash to the mat, and Rhea hits a wheelbarrow slam of Io onto Lash for a near fall. Lash delivers a punch, and then tags Nia in. Nia then hits an Irish whip. Rhea floats over. Rhea then hits a drop toe hold, and Io hits a drop kick. Rhea then hits a drop kick to Lash after Io trips Lash Legend. They then kick Lash and Nia to the floor. Nia and Lash then catch her Karana attempt and swing Io and Rhea into the ringside barrier. Io is then sent back into the ring. Nia then hits a chop, and Lash gets a hot tag. Lash hits a forearm in the corner, picks up Io, and sends Io's ear into the top and the middle ropes. She then does it a second time. Lash then hits a Uranagi backbreaker for a near fall. Tag then Nia, she Irish whips Io and hits a splash. Nia then hits an elbow drop for a near fall. So Nia then applies a Cobra clutch. Nia then sends Io to the mat and tagged in Lash. A lot of good tag team work with Nia and Lash. Io starts to fire back with a kick, but Lash fires back. Lash then sends Io into the turnbuckle and follows it up with an Irish whip and a clothesline. Lash then gets a cover for a near fall. Lash then applies an armbar. Io then hits some elbows. But Lash sends Io to the mat. Lash then applies an armbar. Io then hits the forearms, and Lash hits a boot to the head for a near fall. Lash then chokes Io in the ropes, and Nia kicks Io. Lash gets another near fall. After Io kicks out, Lash hits an Irish whip, and Io moves, so Lash goes into the turnbuckle. Both women are down. Nia and Rhea then tag in, and Rhea hits several short arm clotheslines. Rhea then hits a back heel kick, and Nia gets Rhea up, but Rhea gets to her feet. Rhea then hits a springboard head scissors takedown. Rhea then hits a round kick to Lash. Nia then pushes Rhea into the corner, but Rhea kicks Nia. Rhea then hits a missile drop kick for a near fall. Lash then pulls Io off the apron, but Io pushes Lash away and sends her into the steps. Nia Jackson sets up for Annihilator, but Rhea stops Nia, and Rhea hits a super kick to the head against the turnbuckles. And then Rhea gets stands up under her, hits a massive power bomb for a near fall. Nia Jax kicked out. Rhea then hits a flying boot to Nia, and Nia goes to the floor. Rhea then goes to the apron, and she hits a cannonball. They're both back in the ring, and Nia blocks an Irish whip. Rhea then tries to float over, but Nia sends Rhea to the floor. Lash gets a hot tag, and she hits a splash onto the floor. They then return to the ring, and Lash begins to work on the leg. She applies some sort of leg stretch on Rhea. Rhea then pulls herself up and gets a sunset flip for a near fall. Lash then hits a clothesline, and she has some choice words for Io. Nia then tags in. Nia hits a leg drop to the leg. Nia then hits another leg drop. Then Nia begins to grind her boot onto the lower leg. Nia then slams Rhea's head into the mat and applies a Cobra clutch again. Rhea then fires back with some punches, but Nia keeps Rhea from making the tag. Nia hits a headbutt, and she goes and knocks Io Sky off the apron. Nia then sends Rhea to the floor. Lash then tagged in, and she sends Rhea into the ring post. Nia is then given Rhea by Lash, and Nia hits the Samoan drop onto the announce desk, followed by a chop. Lash then sends Rhea to the mat face first, and she hits a splash for a near fall. Lash then hits a Uranagi, and Nia tags back in and hits a leg drop off the turnbuckles for a near fall. So Io Sky gets the tag in. She sends Lash over the top rope with the head scissors. Nia then sets up for a hip attack into the corner, and then Rhea moves out of the way, forcing Nia to go shoulder first into the ring post. Rhea then looks for the tag, while Lash tagged in, but they knocked Io off the ring apron. Then eventually we get Io back into the ring. She hits a show tie and gets a victory roll into a double stomp. Io then drop kicks Nia into the turnbuckles. Io then almost sends Lash into Nia. That was a close call there. But Nia stops her. Lash then sends Io into Nia, but Io hits a DDT. Io then goes to the apron and she kicks Lash in the head. Io then goes up top and she hits a missile drop kick. And then Io applies a suicide dive onto Nia Jax. Io then hits a running double knee strike. Goes up top. She hits the moonsault, but Nia breaks up the cover. She was about to get the win right there, but Nia broke it up. Nia then goes for Annihilator, and she hits it on Io. Lash then gets it covered, but Rhea Ripley pulls Lash Legend's leg from. Like Rhea was on the outside, and before the referee could count to 3, Rhea pulls Lash Legend's leg out, pulls her out of the ring. Rhea then gets back on the apron, and she drops down to send Nia to the floor. Rhea then tags in. Rhea hits a drop kick to Lash. Nia then grabs Rhea, and Rhea hits a headbutt. Rhea then hits a riptide to Nia, but then Lash Legend hits the Lash extension on the Eradicator Rhea Ripley for the 1, 2, 3, and we have new SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champions, the Irresistible Forces. Nia Jax and Lash Legend. I'm sorry, I didn't even see the comments. I have a question. Why did they write Jey Uso out of Elimination Chamber? That's a good question. I mean, a lot of reports are saying he wasn't even supposed to be in there. It was supposed to be Bronson Reed, so I guess because they wanted another heel in the match. Is this Mystery Attacker taking Bloodline members out one by one? It seems that way. It does seem that way. It definitely seems that way. Oh, I'm so sad my girl lost it. It's okay, Ben too. I think he'll be happy tomorrow. I do think Rhea's going to win the chamber and get that title match at WrestleMania. But we do have new SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champions. It's Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. They have new entrance music. After the match, they get pyro as well. So this was a pretty funny segment in the back. Charlotte Flair is obviously one of my favorites. We then see Charlotte Flair, and she says she is fine. That's her new catchphrase slogan. That Lash and Nia are tag champs, but she is crying and eating ice cream. Yeah, I mean, it's time to get Rhea and Io back to the big picture. Especially with the Bella Twins coming back. You don't want, Rhea and Io elevated those tag titles, but now there's enough teams that they can, they can get more teams involved, and Rhea and Io can go back to the big title pictures. But yes, Alexis, it does seem like that they're targeting the attacker is targeting Bloodline people. So Charlotte's eating ice cream. She then says there isn't a finer situation than this. And then Kiana James shows up, and then she says, what Alexa is doing to show she cares is commendable. Kiana then says, you will have all the gold while you can have someone to eat ice cream with. Jade then shows up, and she wishes Kiana and Alexa luck. So we then see Nick Aldis is on his phone, and Solo wants to know what that was. He then says they want to do something about the Wyatts. Nick then says he saw Solo lose, and you jumped him after the match. He then says maybe it is time to do something about you and the titles because they haven't been defended. He then says next week there will be a number 1 contenders match on SmackDown for those men's SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We then see Kathy Kelly with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Nia says she is a 3-time tag champion, and Lash has won her first WWE title on the main roster. Lash says they will celebrate next week on SmackDown. Nia then tells Kathy she is not invited, and they leave. And then Kathy Kelly says that they are rude. We get a video package for CM Punk. Another interesting segment. While I said at the beginning of the show, I feel like Aleister Black and Zelina's kind of taking the Scarlet carrying Cross role. Obviously, we saw the big video of Paul Heyman calling Cross. We'll see if that materializes. But we see Randy Orton walking in the back, and Aleister Black and Zelina show up. I think Rhea's taking the title off Jade at WrestleMania. I believe so. I do think so as well. We then see Randy Orton walking in the back, and Aleister Black and Zelina show up. Black asked if the black mask awoke something in Randy. Zelina then asked if it is anger. Randy then says he doesn't know what is going on in his head, but the voices are talking louder. He then says if you want that anger, it is here. He then says after the chamber, he will find Aleister Black. Black then says Randy will because they planned it that way. So yeah, they're definitely trying to get into Randy's head, and it's working. That heel turn's coming tomorrow or later today. It's already Saturday on the East Coast. It is then announced that WrestleMania 42 will start on night one at 6 p.m. Eastern, and the first hour will be on ESPN2. It is also announced that Sunday will start at 6 p.m. and the first hour will be on ESPN. The entire shows will air on ESPN Unlimited in the United States. So that's big news right there. That's going to be on ESPN, ESPN2. First hour. So we get to the main event of the night. Division make their way down to the ring for the main event. It's Logan Paul versus Jacob Fatu. And what we didn't think we were going to see tonight, the last men's elimination chamber qualifying match. So, yeah, good match though. Very predictable ending though. Logan Paul against the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. The match starts off with Austin Theory distracting Fatu, and Logan hits some punches and elbows. Jacob then hits a clothesline, followed by a back senton. Jacob then hits a splash into the corner. Fatu then hits an uppercut, followed by some punches. Fatu then sends Logan in. Fatu then hits a splash into the corner. Fatu then clotheslines Logan over the top rope into the floor. Fatu then hits a suicide dive. Fatu then continues the attack until Logan Paul breaks free, slamming Jacob Fatu onto the ring steps. Jacob Fatu is able to regain control as he sends Logan Paul into the barricade, but Logan Paul dodges the hip attack at the last second. Logan Paul is down as Logan slides into the ring, considering a countout win as he distracts the referee long enough for Austin Theory to get a cheap shot in. And my phone, I think my phone just got too hot or crashed or something. Sorry guys, I have to go all the way back to my notes. My phone is a POS. We'll do it right for the main event. Getting there, guys. A lot of notes. Sorry about that. Phone's a piece of crap. Alright, so Jacob Fatu continued to attack until Logan Paul breaks free, slamming Fatu into the ring step. Paul's down as Logan slides into the ring, considering a countout. So Austin Theory gets a cheap shot in. Logan Paul then brings Fatu back into the ring for a cover, but only gets a 2 count. Fatu is back on his feet. He sent Paul into the corner, but Logan Paul fights back. Logan then manages to dodge another charge for Fatu, dropping him to the mat for a near fall. Logan Paul then climbs up top for a frog splash, but Fatu rolls out of the way, dropping Paul with a super kick before hitting a moonsault off the ropes for a 2. Fatu then goes up, but he is intercepted by Logan Paul, who looks for a superplex. Fatu blocks it, fighting Logan Paul off. Knees are now up on a swanton attempt, and Paul hits a blockbuster and a springboard moonsault. He really flipped way off. Jade has been eyeing Rhea for a while, so I'm thinking she wants to go against her for WrestleMania. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel as well. Theory then gets on the apron and Fatu kicks him, and then Paul Heyman then gets on the apron and Fatu grabs him. Logan then delivers a low blow. I believe he hits him with his finisher, which is the punch. Logan then goes up top and hits a frog splash, but Jacob Fatu kicks out. So I don't know who this guy was. It looked like they got him from the popcorn stand. This masked man appears. He hits a super kick to Theory, but Logan punches him, knocks him clean out. Logan then pulls off the mask into some rando. Like I said, I think they pulled him from the popcorn stand. I would expect to see the real masked man tomorrow to cost Logan Paul. I fully expect it to be Seth Rollins. We'll see. Logan then sets up for the punch, but there's no referee in the ring. Fatu then hits a pop-up Samoan drop. Fatu then buffers and goes for the double jump moonsault, but out of nowhere, here comes Drew McIntyre, and he hits Jacob Fatu with the title belt, and Logan Paul the moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul has pinned the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. Logan Paul is now the 6th member to qualify in the Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul will be joined by Javon Evans, Trick Williams, LA Knight, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes tomorrow. So we'll do a quick little rundown of the Elimination Chamber matches tomorrow. CM Punk defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor. And then we're going to have an Intercontinental. Becky Lynch is going to defend the Women's Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. And then the Women's Elimination Chamber, we're going to see Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. And the men's, we're going to see Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Logan Paul. And that starts at, the pre-show starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, but the real show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and I guess some for Netflix. So, like I said, there's not really much announced for next week besides number 1 contenders match for the MFT's tag team titles, and then a celebration for Nash and Nia and Lash's tag title win. Cody, Rhea, AJ for the win. Possibly. What about the Punk match? Who you got, Punk or Finn? Those are all my picks as well. We'll see. Everybody loves to pivot, so. Yeah, shout out to everybody that tuned in to the SmackDown recap tonight. Ran a little bit over, about an hour, 18 minutes in. Shout out to 165 people that tuned in. 167 now. Shout out to Alexis. Ben to. Oh, you're going with Ben. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, one more time, I will show how this video from After Slam Podcast, because this raffle ends today. So make sure you guys listen to the video, and then I'll explain it. I'll go to my outro first, and then I'll do the video. And then I will, after the video, I'll explain it. I'll come back and tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up next for you guys.
Wrestling has more than one royal fan.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go, Show Recaps Predictions Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go.
Alright, here's the video from After Slam Podcast on how to get into this classic WWF Intercontinental Championship raffle. And it does end today, February 28th. So make sure you pay attention to the video. I'll explain it afterwards. And then I will tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up the rest of this weekend and next week.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slime podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slime history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slime podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
Alright, check out. Alright, so you guys heard After the Slam podcast. Here's a picture of the $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter. And the only catch to this is you must subscribe to the After the Slam podcast YouTube, Talk About Wrestling podcast YouTube, and the EVP Show YouTube. You must subscribe to all three YouTube channels. After you do that, you just scan this QR code. It's After the Slam PayPal QR code. You send $15 via PayPal for one raffle entry. Each $15 entry equals one entry. More entries is a better chance to win. The raffle will end today, February 28th, the day of Elimination Chamber, and the winner will be drawn on March the 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern on After the Slam podcast show. There again, this is the QR code. Alright guys, I'll put my banner back up there. Alright guys, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. 168 viewers live for the SmackDown recap, the go home show. I mean, it was a lot better than Raw, but I mean, it's still like it's just kind of all over the place. Hopefully after Elimination Chamber it gets better on the road to WrestleMania, but right now I'm just not super duper impressed. But yeah, looking forward to Elimination Chamber later on today. But as far as where you can find me at on my socials, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, obviously. You can follow me on X at EVPCJP. If you guys know anything about polls, I have a poll going on right now. It's a IWC. I've been to SmackDown. Me and Miami have been to SmackDown Tag Champion for like 200 days. We just won, and I'm now defending the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship. And I believe I have like 9 hours left on the poll. So if you guys see that on my page, feel free to give me a vote because it's pretty close. Last time I looked, I was up like 58% or something like that. But yeah, you can find me on X at EVPCJP, Instagram same handle at EVPCJP lowercase, and also on TikTok at Brady the Goat 21. That's at Brady DA Goat 21. Last but not least, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, you can go to the search bar and type in at the EVP Show, and it will pop up. You'll see tons of live, tons of shorts. Obviously, you'll see shorts later on from this show. And if you're able to go back and watch this show later on, and you didn't watch it live tonight on YouTube, please spam the YouTube channel with all the lives, especially tonight's live, with likes and comments from YouTube because it helps with my stream and my channel and my show and the algorithm. Shout out to everyone from DWE, I Am the Great, Final Boss Baby, Dr. Red, World of Greg, After Sun Podcast, and everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media as well. So what I have coming up next for you guys later on today, which is Saturday on the East Coast right now, tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, after Elimination Chamber goes off. After the post show, I will be live on the EVP show at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Elimination Chamber recap show. And then Sunday, tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern for episode 9 of Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. I'm sure it's going to be a very big show, especially after Elimination Chamber. And then next week, Monday night, I'm live at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap. And then Tuesday is the Go Home show for NXT Vengeance Day. I will be live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern to cover your NXT recap, the Go Home NXT show before Vengeance Day. And then Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will at 7 p.m. Eastern hit that. Make sure you hit that reminder for 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. As of right now, I have a 7-person panel. It's going to be me and Stampede and Chris and Lou and Lady Alpha, one half of Wrestling Divas podcast, and Michael from the Mob Squad, and I believe Panda as well. So I am looking for one more person to join the NXT Vengeance Day prediction show, which will be coming up Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday night, I'm back for the 3rd episode of the TNA recap show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then next Friday, I'm back again. What will be the fallout from Elimination Chamber? Tune in next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap show. And then next Saturday, as soon as Vengeance Day goes off, NXT Vengeance Day goes off next Saturday, live on Peacock. I will be live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Vengeance Day recap show. And then to cap next week off, I will be back again live next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. So 7 straight days of streaming for you guys next week. So hope you guys hit that notification bell and join me every day. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Elimination Chamber recap. And don't forget to tune in to DWE Watch Party if you are on Twitch. It is on Miami's page. It's pinned up at the top. I'm not sure on the time, but they are having a, I'll be on there too, but we are having a Elimination Chamber watch party on the DWE Twitch page. So make sure you guys tune in and check that out. It won't be live on X or YouTube. It will strictly be on Twitch tomorrow. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy Elimination Chamber, and I will see you guys tomorrow night after Elimination Chamber at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Elimination Chamber recap. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the Golden Boy of DWE, and DWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone. Enjoy Elimination Chamber, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Elimination Chamber recap.